I wanted to go up there. Wouldn't let me. What even is that? Just some weird space station? Anyway, good evening, everyone. It's Terraquator. Hope you're doing well. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Anyway, sorry, not Tessa. I'm under a mild amount of stress right now. Let's just say there's some dizzying things in this world. But, the easiest thing I can say is I've done just about whatever I can for the whole, issue with the lawsuit from the city. It's really weird because it's not just like myself, the new property owners and the old property owners that are being sued. The bank is being sued, a city councilman's being sued, and the county commissioner's being sued, all in the same thing. So there's something really fishy going on. And I can't talk about too much because, one, I know very, very little, and two, attorney-client privileges and whatever. I mean, since I'm privy to it, there's only so much I can say. But what's bothering both myself and the new property management is that none of us were the first to know this was happening. The first party to even find out anything about this was the local news. And there's no reason why they should be the first to know. So there's something very, very fishy about that. Like, excuse me, I'm in need of recalibration, it would seem. Sorry, it's been a while, so my computer's like, what's going on? And not wanting to keep myself tracking all too well. Doing my best. But with all of that going on, we're going to have to find out exactly why the local news found out before any of us did. Which means someone in the city, like someone in their city attorney or attorney general or whatever, tipped the news off first that this was happening before any of us, which that's a problem. That is a huge problem. And, well, we've seen that in other issues, and I have some personal opinions on what it feels like with what's going on and the circumstances in which how everything's playing out. Feels familiar to a previous high-profile case, but mainly with the circumstances of how the city's going about it. But I must withhold my opinions for the pending case because anything I say could be used against us, kind of thing. You know how it goes. But I have some strong opinions about this. But the best I can say is we're of the parties that I am in communication with, being just myself and property management, we're both confused and frustrated right now with the whole they knew before, or the news knew before we did. In fact, I knew before property management did because they got to me first. But I should have been the last party to find out. But in terms of being served papers by the sheriff, of course, I was the first. Probably because I was the first they could get to. I don't know. They're not going to tell me. That, when I tried to talk to the attorney general, because I was told I was supposed to call that number, I called and oh, no, we can't talk to you. We can only talk to your attorney. I'm like, oh, lovely. So the instructions I was given from the sheriff was wrong? I don't know. It's a whole frustrating thing. But so far, in terms of us being able to stay living here, so far so good. But, I've got 19 days to find out. Because they're writing up a response, that whole process. So a response is being written up by the property management and their attorneys. That's the best I can say. Is so far it looks like we should be able to keep our home. But again, I'm in this situation where I should expect the worst, hope for the best, because this city has a bit of a reputation. Excuse me. Sorry about that. had a hair in my eye inside the headset. That was not a whoops, sorry. That was not a fun feeling. But we are more or less, we're getting that taken care of, so the faster we get it out of the way, the better. In fact, we only have 19 days from now, which, from what we know, is also improper. So they're saying, from what I can see and how these things are supposed to go, from what I know, the claim that they tipped off to the news is that the previous property management, Great Plains, improperly filed the paperwork with the city, which all of it got approved. So why is the new party at fault, kind of thing. Anyway, whole different can of worms. But the fact that they're saying that it was improperly filed, we're supposed to get 30 days to, give a response. From what I was told, which could be wrong, is that we were supposed to have been given 30 days. They gave us 20, which means it does sound like the city might be trying to fast track a lawsuit to seize all properties. But I don't know right now. It's going to be complicating. It's going to be an uphill battle, because those in the city, when they decide they want someone's property, they will do everything they can to seize it. That is the opinion of most residents in this city that own property, because they've dealt with it before. I've heard others say extraordinarily high fees for having a little bit of chipped paint on the outside of their house when they decide they don't like you or want your house. They'll give you extremely high fees for minor inconveniences, and they will pester and look for every little thing. While people next door to you can have an even worse problem, they'll ignore it. While they'll go after the people they want the properties from. That's what I've heard. That's all rumor and conjecture kind of thing. Which I would say is the opinion of other residents I've spoken to. Doesn't mean it's a fact. It's just how people feel is that when the city doesn't like you, they will ruin you, and they will try to seize your property. Incredibly fascist. It's incredibly I have strong opinions about it. Anyway, that's the amount I can say for all of that. But from the sound of new property management saying that we should be able to keep the property, they've done everything right, they fixed everything up that was supposed to, we should be able to keep our home, then I should, starting this weekend, next week, I should be able to start putting together Sweet Pea and Buttercup's new bunk bed, because they needed a new bed set, and that'll get Sweet Pea out of our room because she refused to use her baby crib, and it's gone now. It's gone, and I'm happy it's gone because she never used it. It was taking up space. But now they're getting a bunk bed. The bunk bed's been delivered. I just need to order another mattress next week, just a twin size, and get this thing built. But Lilia doesn't know how to do any of that. So I'll take care of it. It's an easy job. It's quite easy to do. But anyway, I wish there was more I could talk about. Although there is a project I need to work on with Tessa, but knowing I needed to update everything that's going on with this pending, opening salvo of a lawsuit, which again, we shouldn't be a defendant. We're more or less uninvolved with this lawsuit, so I don't know. I looked through all the paperwork. I have no idea why tenants, being us, I don't know why us tenants are listed as defendants, because the only financial involvement we have is paying rent and, maintaining the yard. And all my yard tools are in where the laundry room should be, where we should have, washer and dryer, but we don't have a washer and dryer. We don't have a shed anymore, so all my yard tools are in there. I'm glad they're all electric because I don't want to keep gasoline inside our home. That would be bad. I do wish I could go up there and figure out if we can go in that space station. But we're in this very interesting world. Anyway, I do have an upcoming VR chat project that I need to do with Tessa to, I guess, toward the latter end, in fact, the final month, 2 months of our sobriety project, we had a few people, there have been notes of us using AI. I use we use voice mod AI. We don't use AI in general. We use voice mod AI for a few things. That's about it. But so there has been minor confusion about how Tessa and I work. So we're gonna have to explain that to everyone, or do one of those overview kind of videos. So yeah, we got that project to work on. It's just everything. As soon as I'm ready to do that, something comes up. This has been a very strange month, and it's like everything's been piled on. But I mean, I like how clean the house is. I like how organized things are becoming. Buttercup's room is no longer cluttered. We've gotten rid of things, and I'm so very happy about that. I can move around in the house mostly because I still trip over Sweet Pea's toys. She has a lot of movable toys. When you have a small house, people need to learn to work with less. They're children. They're children. They have their likes, they have their dislikes, and I think what it is with a child, it's harder to let go. I had some degree of trouble with that, but my parents were pretty on to us when I was a kid about not keeping things beyond when you should. Like, if it's broke, it's broke. Or broken. Believe it or not, my parents and my side of the family severely dislike poor use of grammar. So I try to use better grammar. Not always perfect at it. Of course, when I try to use better grammar, it's Lily's side of the family like, that don't matter here. Why do you do any of that correcting and everything? I'm like, well, because if my grandmother, who was a school principal, heard that, she would be most displeased with me. That's enough rambling. I have to keep this one short and to the point because there's a lot more I need to do. It's 6:03 at the time of recording, so I need to get all this slapped together and up to the internets so I can turn around and make a very simple dinner because we're all getting quite hungry. We're just having something with pork because we had very, very delicious fried chicken last night. It was fantastic fried chicken because I make good fried chicken. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. This is Terra Quator, still no day counter, no cursing counter, because I'm still making an effort to not curse, and I don't need to worry about the sobriety counter. We finished the challenge. I don't drink anymore. I'm feeling fine. Yes, fine. Stress is... I will put the final note in there. Now that we've gone the full year, high stress situations are a lot easier to handle. So alcoholics out there who deal with a whole bunch of stress, quit drinking. Stressful situations get easier when you're not drinking. Take that from a high stress former alcoholic. There you go. This is Terra Quator signing out. We'll see you all again. See you around.